sleep on the couch and beg a bitch to let you sleep in the house. Now it's all about Versace. You copy my style. 5 shots couldn't drop me. I took it and smiled. Now I'm about to set the record straight. With my AK, I'm still the thug.
And chilling so that you could be a part of the soundtrack of the youth culture's movement, their lives in this era, or that whatever era you're putting the records out. Tupac had that. Brenda Had a Baby, Dear Mama, and then I Get Around. It's like, that's like a social conscious record that he was able to do and had that on radio and make that into a massive hit. Then he was able to do another record with soul and heart that went straight to the women with the mothers, Dear Mama. And then he did one for the Corner Boys and all the cool guys. This is how you play. I Get Around. It fit him. It was a movie. It was what we needed to see to know, okay, Biggie, he's a player too. Do you understand? Bring out that player aspect. Bring out that player mantra so that people can see I'm just not in the street, you know, churning drugs and hand to hand. You understand? I'm getting jiggy with it. I can get the party started. I'm in the hot tub with my girl and all of her friends. You understand? I play. I Get Around showed you that you could be gangster and you could be a player too at the same time, and you can have all of that. Now, there might have been other songs that kind of intimated that, and there might have been some Big Daddy Kane, but it's such a different era, it didn't hit those people. He gave me gangster without all the guns, but also player. He gave me player too. Tough, but player. Kool G Rap didn't give me that, like too much of the player aspect. He gave me gangster, he gave me tough. Then you got Biggie putting both of those two things together. Sort of like the way Tupac did it in his way, but Tupac had the Hollywood image and all of that working in his favor and going with him. That creative, artsy, poetic type of person. Biggie had the street poetic justice thing going, and he didn't have all of the other trapments, but he made up for it just with his whole swagger. And yes, that helped for him to bring his swagger to the table. We had Party and Bullshit as one of the first records that we did on Biggie. We were trying to find ourselves with that record. Party and Bullshit. That was a first release. It really didn't, you know, it didn't do what we wanted it to do. It wasn't that it was a terrible record, but it didn't put Biggie in a frame that people see him in now. When you listen to Party and Bullshit, you hear Biggie and you'll love him for the things that he's saying, but if you didn't hear anything else by him since that, that wasn't the Biggie that we needed to have out there in the world. And songs that came after that song help us to shape and give us the Biggie that we needed to have. Soulful, player, swaggerful.
Out and trying to take my position. And if you watch, that's what Biggie did. Listen to his, I was there, nigga. I trained the nigga. He used to be under me like my lieutenant. The nigga, I used to come to New York. I used to do shows and let the nigga come on before I did Keep Your Head Up and Get Around. Because nobody knew the nigga in New York. And I used to tell a nigga, yo, if you want to make your money, you got to rap for the bitches. Do not rap for the niggas. I told the nigga, don't rap for the niggas. Rap for the bitches. The bitches will buy your records and the niggas want what the bitches want. So all of a sudden, he changed from being, listen to Party and Bullshit. Listen to his style. He changed from that to Big Papa. Because of me. He had my album, Me Against the World was the second one. He had the first one. I changed everything because Ready to Die came out and it sounded like my album. All my album was about, you know, dealing with death. And then he came out Ready to Die and I had to switch it.
Wow.
That's why it was less East Coast rap, East Coast beats, because Biggie had just took my shit.
That's what, but you could listen to it. That's what that was a success too, because he took like West Coast sound.
We flipped it. I told him that. I told him that. I trained. He was supposed to be Thug Life. All while he was coming up, I used to let him come on stage with me. He was screaming Thug Life.
Hey, cause I
he
saw
was like, I hate Brooklyn, I hate New York, I'm out with them niggas puppy cheating me, woo woo woo. All of a sudden he blew up and he wasn't saying Thug Life. So I started getting mad and I was seeing the niggas place. He was hugging me, yo Pop, yo thank you's the only real for a second. If you have the love of music that you are, study. Go back and study. Study how Party and Bullshit was me before I met Biggie. You don't hear my style in this rap. Study how after I met Biggie, Ready to Die come out, his whole style changed. Study. Study why I would be mad. Study why I would be mad when half of the major New York rappers or they managers or they agents or they somebody